Hello everyone, welcome back to Noteworthy ENT. Let us discuss the anatomy of posterior triangle in this lecture. So posterior triangle is a triangular space on the side of the neck which lies behind the sternocleidomastoid muscle. So as you can see in this diagram being of the right side, this is the sternocleidomastoid muscle, this being the trapezius muscle. So the posterior triangle lies between the two. So posterior boundary is the anterior border of trapezius muscle and the anterior boundary is the posterior border of sternocleidomastoid muscle. And the base is found by the clavicle and the apex is found where these two muscles meet at the superior nuchal line. So I'll repeat the boundaries again. Posteriorly by the anterior border of trapezius, anteriorly by the posterior border of sternocleidomastoid, base found by the clavicle and apex at the superior nuchal line. Now coming to the roof. Roof is formed by the investing layer of deep cervical fascia stretching between the two muscles, that is the sternocleidomastoid and the trapezius muscle. The superficial fascia which overlies the roof, it contains the following structures: the platysma, external jugular vein, and the cutaneous nerves. Now this roof is pierced by the following structures. Most importantly, there are four cutaneous branches of brachial plexus which pierce the roof, namely the lesser occipital nerve, greater auricular nerve, transverse cervical nerve, and the branches of supraclavicular nerves. And this roof is also pierced by the external jugular vein. Now the floor, this floor from above downwards is formed by the following muscles: the semispinalis capitis, splenius capitis, levator scapulae, and the scalenus medius muscle. Sometimes there is also contribution from the scalenus anterior muscle. And all these muscles, they are covered by the prevertebral fascia. Now this triangle is divided into two parts by the inferior belly of omohyoid muscle, and this divides this triangle into a larger superior part which is named as the occipital triangle and a smaller inferior part which is known as subclavian triangle or supraclavicular triangle. Now coming to the contents, the occipital triangle, which is the triangle above the omohyoid muscle, it contains the most important structure being the spinal accessory nerve. This being the spinal accessory nerve, and it also contains the lymph nodes along this spinal accessory nerve. And the four cutaneous branches which we discussed, namely the lesser occipital, greater auricular, transverse cervical, and the supraclavicular nerves. So the initial parts of all the four nerves are also in the occipital triangle, and it also contains the transverse cervical vessels and the occipital artery superiorly. And there is also presence of dorsal scapular nerve in this region. Now, contents of the inferior triangle, the most important contents are the subclavian vessels, the third part of subclavian artery, subclavian vein, and the terminal part of external jugular vein before it drains into the subclavian vein. Now, another important structure in this area is the brachial plexus, and also lymph nodes are also present in this triangle. So this was about the anatomy. There are a few important clinical implications of this anatomy. So we'll discuss them one by one. There is a point known as Erb's point. And now we'll see in this picture this being the Erb's point where all the cutaneous nerves they come out from the posterior border of sternocleidomastoid. Now identification of this Erb's point is important because now this spinal accessory nerve it enters the posterior triangle about 1 centimeter superior to this Erb's point. While doing neck dissection in the posterior triangle, Erb's point can be used as a guide to find the spinal accessory nerve. Now, another important point is that all the important structures, that is namely the subclavian vessels, the trunk of brachial plexus, they lie deep to the prevertebral fascia in the floor of posterior triangle, and only the spinal accessory nerve lies superficial to it. So when we are doing neck dissection, it is important that we stay superficial to this fascia and not to breach this fascia. And if we breach this fascia, all these important neurovascular structures are under risk. Also, if we are planning to do any excisional biopsy in the posterior triangle, then the spinal accessory nerve can be at risk. So we have to know the anatomy of the spinal accessory nerve. Now, this was all about the anatomy of the posterior triangle. I'll quickly summarize before wrapping up. So posterior triangle is bounded posteriorly by the anterior border of trapezius muscle and anteriorly by the posterior border of sternocleidomastoid muscle. The base is formed by the clavicle and the apex where both these muscles join at the superior nuchal line. And the inferior belly of omohyoid, it divides the triangle into two, the upper larger one being the suboccipital triangle and the inferior one being the supraclavicular or the subclavian triangle. So coming to the contents, the upper part, that is the occipital triangle, it houses mainly the spinal accessory nerve, the nodes accompanying the spinal accessory nerves, the cutaneous nerves, occipital artery and the transverse cervical vessels. Whereas the supraclavicular triangle, it houses the subclavian vessels and the brachial plexus mainly. So this was all about the anatomy of posterior triangle. If this video was helpful to you, please support the channel by liking the video and subscribing. Thank you.